Every so often, the Sports Hangover touches on mature topics. Discretion is advised. Gossip, BS, lies, and rumors. This is the Sports Hangover.
I don't know what that means. No one knows what it means. But it's
Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside Jake Dog.
Mike, it's good to see you again. There's a big breakup in LA, and it's not you this time.
It's not me. It's not me. Do you want me to hit the breaking news? Should we break it?
Yeah, break it.
Okay.
I couldn't hear anything.
You couldn't hear anything. Oh no. I got
You're off to a good start, but at least I made a good joke to start the show. So Magic Johnson has broken up with the Lakers. Didn't even tell his girlfriend he was breaking up until he told everyone else.
That's the way they do it, though.
By the way, they're not actually dating, but there's clearly some kind of history there that caused him to do this.
The quotes are weird because he comes out and says, like, I couldn't tell her to her face. Somebody's got to tell her that I quit. It's like, what? What just happened?
Well, no, it's kind of like every guy going to his group of friends when he decides to break up with a girl and saying, I'm going to break up. I don't know how to do it. He just happened to meet the media and there were cameras and people tweeting, and you really can't go back on that like you can with your group of buddies.
True, but do you think it's kind of weird that he announced it? It's like, instead of going to your group of buddies, you also happen to hit it on like Facebook Live and it goes out to the entire world. And she might have seen it because she might be watching Facebook Live and it's your friend on Facebook because at that time, she's currently still your girlfriend.
That's a great call, and she is still going to confront you, whether it's by phone later or banging on your door.
Oh, yeah.
She is still going to. You still have to deal with this at some point. Just
I
because
think you made
told
it worse.
The world, yes, you made it worse. Basically,
he made it a lot worse.
You still have to have the conversation at some point. So that's where the Lakers are.
It's really bad, Jeremy. I would be afraid to be Magic Johnson, but it sounds like he wants to be the real Magic Johnson and just go have fun and be a really rich dude and live in LA and enjoy the life of being a former pro basketball player and an investor in most of the LA sports teams here.
What he really wants to do is tweet. That's one of the things he said. So I pulled up a few tweets here from him just this year, just recently. A few of the gems we have to look forward to. We're going to play Guess That Tweet in a few minutes.
Okay, good. Okay,
here's a sample tweet, and this is more of what we're getting from Magic. Lady Gaga, you have to tell me where you got your beautiful necklace! !
And this is what he's been missing for the last, is it 2 years now? He's been
2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
So he wants to tweet more, and you know what? Speaking of breaking news, let's hit that one more time for Rick.
Wow, okay. This time you can hear it, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, good.
This is coming from the LA Times, something you read every morning, right?
No. So LA Times is behind a paywall, and they don't allow people to read their articles online. So,
well, we don't like journalism behind
Times.
a paywall, that's for sure.
No.
The LA Times is alluding to ESPN potentially prepping an expose about Magic Johnson, possibly about workplace conduct. So
Jeremy,
that is a good theory.
You hit the wrong music there. This is conspiracy theory music.
Conspiracy theory season. So maybe that's why Magic acted this way. He looked a little deranged. He looked like a crazy person when he made this announcement. Mm-hmm. Definitely not thought out. Definitely not baked out yet.
No, not at all.
Apparently, he met with LeBron this past weekend and Rich Paul, LeBron's agent. No indication that this was going to happen. So a lot of questions.
So, I mean, this goes in a lot of directions. Now, the Lakers potentially now have to go into a different direction if he was the one kind of going with the deals. And it seems like he's a guy that loves closing deals. He wants to do deals. That's what he is. He's a businessman. And now LeBron is there alone. They have no one in control of basketball operations. Who's going to start making trades? I don't know if the organization is run correctly. And now LeBron's stuck there. He's under contract. This could be a really bad – how many – did he sign 3 years or 4 years? Or I guess he's there for – another 3 years. So he's
there. I think the only solution at this point is for LeBron to name himself as president. I mean, that's the only way that this franchise can continue on.
Can he do it all? I don't think he can do it all. I mean, Magic could barely do it. I think that's all he was doing.
Magic wasn't doing a very good job of it. And that came out in last night, where some people were reporting that he was not scouting players, he was going on vacations and not really being very involved. And obviously, in any walk of life, if you are not applying yourself as much as the competition is going to be better than you. And that's very clear the playoffs begin without the Lakers. And it's very clear. I've taken on Magic. Obviously, J-Dog takes on the best segment in the show. I've taken on Magic. I know you love it. So does our friend Bob. A lot of times I've taken on Magic for his roster building and lack thereof. And it's not LeBron's fault that Magic couldn't get anyone to play there.
Talking about that. I want to bring up Sportstradamus here because the other day you sent me a text. I forgot what you were referring to, but you just said Sportstradamus hits again. I don't know what you were texting me about, but you're just really excited. I totally forgot what it was, but I just wanted to bring it up and let people know that your trend is still moving pretty quickly.
I did not project Magic would not be on the Lakers anymore. I should have. But what I was texting you about in the moment was I had Virginia winning the college basketball championship in my bracket. We did a special gambling show, and this was all 3 shows ago with the Gambling Goose. By the way, I'm going on his podcast later on today. More on that later in our Masters preview, which I know you're excited about. So I had Virginia winning. I had Auburn in the Final Four. And remember, I had UC Irvine, the 13 seed, beating the 4 seed. Yeah. All this happened. Big work pool, 137 people. The top 3 get paid out. And I finished 5th, so that was great.
So, yeah, you didn't get paid out. But Sportstradamus does hit again. You have been predicting everything. It's only April. And I feel like your list is you're almost done with your whole list of the year, predicting the entire year.
You're right. And speaking of Magic, something I didn't have, but another one of our friends, Bob had it. He said the Magic would make the playoffs. And so now the Orlando Magic are more successful than Magic Johnson, which...
I'm excited for the Orlando Magic. I'm sitting right in front of a signed Orlando Magic basketball from I think the early 2000s or maybe when Shaq was there. Our Canadian friend sent it to me. I think he was just trying to get rid of stuff, and it's sitting right in front of me, all signed.
He sent it to the best Magic fan I know, not the one who lives a half mile from where the Magic play.
I do play a lot of NBA 2K. Love the Magic team. I love Bamba. Great. Did they make the song after him? Do you know that rap song?
They did not. But when College Game Day was here at UCF, we thought Mo Bamba should have made the pick with that music. And the college kids, that's a college song, they would have gone crazy.
Great song. It's
it is a good song. When that beat hits, we've sung it on the show before. I don't know.
We don't want to do that right now, though.
Now, I don't know
if
you know
bonus
this.
Material.
I don't know if you're aware, you've been playing with Mo Bamba on the video games. In reality, not in esports, in real sports, he hasn't played most of the year. He's been out hurt.
No, I know, but he's great in the video game. Great in the video game. Aaron Gordon also really good. I'm excited. I'm going to watch. I'm gonna watch it. That's why I stopped watching NCAA. I stopped watching college basketball after UCF fell out. I was kind of over it. I was like, man, who cares? Who cares?
It's not going to get any better than that.
Duke wasn't there. It was all over. It's done for me.
We're gonna have a TSH meetup, a sports hangover meetup at the Orlando Magic home playoff game. Mike, you're welcome to come as one of the founding. No, you're one of the founding members. You're invited.
Thanks. Wow, I'm glad I'm invited.
I know you love to come to Orlando for random events.
I love being there for weeks at a time. All right, do you want to talk? There's a lot of other things that are kind of falling apart. Yeah. Do you want to talk about Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy, drama there? Do you want to talk about Juju and some AB beef? Do you want to talk about Jason Witten? We got a lot of stuff right now.
Whoa, there's a lot. Let's start with Jason Witten because as a man losing the battle against hair loss, I can speak to what Jason Witten, what happened.
Well, he was on national TV, and he was terrible. I could care less about his hair loss. He went on.
That's a big deal for our listeners.
Yeah, but he wasn't talking about hair loss. He was talking about how fucking terrible he was.
No, but he shaved his head. He's bald now.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He lost the battle. As Scott Van Pelt says, he got called home.
So are you getting called home, Jeremy? Is it the time yet?
No, I'm not getting called home.
Okay.
Wait, are you saying I should?
No. I wouldn't call you out. So Jason Witten went on Ryan Russillo's pod. Totally don't know what it's called on the Ringer, and he was really, really open with how terrible that year of being on ESPN Monday Night Football was. He was talking about. Yeah, people call me out, and I was, doing this, and I was prepping, and he made it sound like he was reading everything that we were talking about. Like, it was like directly from comments that I was writing to him. Like, dear Jason Witten, please stop fucking sucking at this.
And that's what sucks about 2019, right? You can't escape any negativity in the spotlight because of social media, and that's why we talk about like the best athletes shouldn't be reading social media at all. They should not be on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. They should only have their friends around them because there's so much negativity over every little thing. Coach K, I have a story with you.
With me, I'm in it.
No, for you, I should say.
Okay, yeah.
This is off the record. I just want to clarify, but it is Coach K.
Okay.
He freaked out on an NBA star player during an Olympic game because at halftime he was on his phone on Twitter at halftime of a huge game.
You can't do that. Yeah, you can't do
Coach
that.
K's like, what are you thinking? That's what they're doing at halftime, in the middle of the sporting event. And that's what Witten was doing after every game. He was reading the tweets about him, and he was terrible. Everyone said he was terrible, and that is only going to make you more terrible because then you're going to have paralysis by analysis.
That's true, but it's tough. It's like you can't deny a guy like that or anybody that, hey, you're not allowed to use social media that literally every single person in the world uses, even if you use it passively. Like, I go on Twitter. I don't use Twitter, and I think 98% of the people that actually use Twitter or log in are probably just passively looking and reading. They don't comment. A lot of people do comment, but that's not the majority of people. When I used to do radio, they used to tell me the one person that calls in equals to about 10,000 people listening. And, you get like 3 calls. You're like, oh, cool, 3 people are calling in or whatever it is. It doesn't equate to everybody. It's like the one crazy person in your neighborhood that likes to yell at you doesn't mean your neighborhood's, a bad neighborhood. But
no, you're right, but that's a loud. The Twitter majority is a loud group.
It's
They're
very,
so
very
loud, and they make a lot of noise, and they say things that they would never say to you in person. If Jason Witten was walking down the street, they would cower behind him, not only because he's 6'6", but also because they're pussies and they're scared to say it. But people love to hide behind their keyboard in their mom's basement and send out these messages.
I did like Russillo kind of going at him a little bit, just saying like, dude, people think you like really sucked, and I thought it was a great interview.
It was a really good podcast. Not that we promote
very, very
other pods, but it's a good one. And at one point, Russillo asked, would you be on the Cowboys right now if you had an epic, great year like Tony Romo?
Yeah.
And Witten couldn't really answer that. He said, I don't know how it would have shaken out, but I think we all know, and Witten does too, if he was Tony Romo, he wouldn't be back playing right now. And he's back because that was the best exit strategy that could be afforded to him.
And probably the best for ESPN, too, because now they hopefully can retool this whole thing.
And we're hoping so an announcement's coming next month, and Peyton Manning has not said no yet. That's what my sources are saying. He hasn't said yes. He hasn't said no.
I just don't think Peyton Manning's going to do it. It seems like a really stretch right now. Isn't he loaded?
Yeah, any quarterback who played in the NFL for any amount of time is.
Romo is doing it because I think he needs this activity. Peyton Manning seems like a guy that could live on his ranch.
Romo's loaded too. Romo's made over $100 million.
I know Romo's loaded, but I think he really enjoys it. Like, I think he enjoys being out there and being in football. I don't think Peyton Manning's that guy. I think Peyton Manning's just kind of over it.
I'm kind of at 50-50 with him right now. I think he'd be great. I hope it's Kurt Warner, if not Peyton, but it seems like it's not going to be Tess and Booger because we can do better. As America, we can do better.
We can definitely do better.
All right, the Aaron Rodgers thing did piss me off. We'll get to the other one in a sec. But that one pissed me off because
talk about it.
Why did the Packers enable Mike McCarthy to be there for so long? So in this report, I guess we should source it back to Sports Illustrated, right? That's where it came out. Really well thought out piece throughout the whole tenure of McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. And it turns out that McCarthy and Rodgers never saw eye to eye. Going back to the moment Aaron Rodgers was sitting in the draft room on draft night, he went down to like 24th overall. Mike McCarthy was the offensive coordinator for the 49ers, who had the first overall pick, and he was influential in the reason they took Alex Smith instead of Rodgers, and that's when this whole thing began.
So is it but all right, so the next day, Aaron Rodgers came out and said everybody should praise him and blah, blah, blah. Was it him just covering up his tracks or like a PR move? Because in a way, so after watching his brother on The Bachelor, it seems like Aaron Rodgers comes from a family of a lot of drama. They don't talk to each other. Aaron Rodgers does not talk to his mom, his dad, his brother, nobody.
And it's extreme, but a lot of families have drama, especially when big money's involved.
But I think there's got to be something to it that if then this comes out, it almost in a way validates the drama with his family, saying like, okay, well, maybe this is just how Aaron Rodgers is, and he always wanted it to be his team after winning, Super Bowl, whatever it is. it just seems like it's a weird thing going on there. And having this report come out, that doesn't just like come out of nowhere. I mean, we can make stuff up, but it seems like a detailed thing about it, like about how Aaron Rodgers is. And I don't know.
It was a long read. I didn't read the whole thing. Did you?
I read snippets of it. I read like the quotes and all that. To me, it just doesn't seem like if you're going to the team right now and you're going to be on Aaron Rodgers' team, who's the head coach right now? Did they hire anybody?
Brian LaFleur from the Titans.
So I don't know how it's going to go over. It's taking on like it's almost like being a coach of LeBron.
I'll tell you how it's going to go over. You have one of the best quarterbacks in all of history as the leader of your team. It's going to go over really well. There's two players. Put their names on it, Mike. I said one of the best.
I know, but I
relented.
As this continues, his stock's dropping for me.
He's not been good because of articles about him and his head coach relationship.
His play, his injury over the past few years. His stock is dropping.
His injury because he's got slammed on a collarbone on a roughing the passer call?
Listen, my boy Brady's been around for a little while. Russell, he's still really good running around.
No one is saying Russell's better than Rodgers. I hope you're not saying that.
He's trending. He's trending up in my eyes.
Where?
Up, Jeremy. Trending.
So he's never been considered above Rodgers, but maybe you're saying maybe the future Dolphins quarterback Russell Wilson is better than Rodgers.
No. Russell Wilson's staying in Seattle. That'd be the worst move that Seattle could ever do. But go ahead. I'm sorry I got you so angry.
I am, and this isn't even J-Dog Takes On.
I know.
Which is coming up next. So there's two players that criticize Rodgers openly. It was Greg Jennings, who is an analyst for Fox Sports 1, and that's great content for Fox. And two is Jermichael Finley. And Aaron Rodgers responded to Jermichael Finley, the longtime tight end, and said, when was I a bad teammate to you? Was it when you broke your neck and I spent 3 hours in the hospital with you that night? Or was it when I continued checking in with you after your neck injury? Or was it the night before every game that you ever played, I went over every single play that was targeting you first in your hotel room?
Where did he say that?
He said this week. This was a Rodgers rebuttal.
So
that's what I'm asking you. There's two sides to every story, and you're just considering the other one.
I know. But what I'm saying is, why does he have to come out and say this? Like, if you had the self-control and the ego temperament of Tom Brady, a great quarterback, or Russell Wilson, you wouldn't lash out at former players like that. You would just say, whatever it is, I'm just going to let it go and let that be a story that kind of dies on its own. Because if I have a rebuttal to it, it makes me look even worse because now I'm defending myself against this crazy story about some guy that doesn't even play football anymore. Like, do you want to believe the guy that's not playing or the elite quarterback that keeps his mouth shut and just continues on and looks forward?
He's kept his mouth shut for a lot of years, and that's why Mike McCarthy was his shitty head coach for all those years. Winning solves everything. The Patriots and Tom Brady never have these stories out because all those players that have played there have won Super Bowls and they don't care. If they had lost in the AFC Championship game every year, there'd be tons of stories about Brady being a bad team.
Do you think they will be over a 500 team this year?
Yes, every year that Rodgers is there.
Do you really? I would make a bet that I don't know if they can. They'll lose more games that they win.
No, their over/under is nowhere close to 8. It's got to be 9 or 9.5. So,
all right, we'll check it later for next year.
I'll take that anytime. All right, let's do J-Dog Takes On.
Okay.
J-Dog Takes On.
J-Dog Takes On is taking on Antonio Brown.
What you want?
Get it.
AB.
Sorry.
Juju SmithSchuster is trying to make amends with Antonio Brown, and instead Antonio Brown is criticizing this young wide receiver. He even so Juju sent AB a message when he was a receiver at USC in college, saying, "Hey, super respectful, super nice message. Do you have it in front of you?"
I don't have it in front of me, but it was hey man, like really respect you, like hey, any pointers, like just like super nice, like asking him like what's going on, like going into the NFL draft, something, just asking like a pro what he can expect.
Exactly, something that I do in my field, you probably do in your field of meditation, whatever field you have. I think Antonio Brown tried to post this message as saying, oh, haters used to look up to me. No, Antonio Brown, you are a loser for posting that message, first of all. You are a loser for continuing to hype this. Speaking of people that need to shut their mouth and go to work, Antonio Brown is number one on that list.
Yes, so let me put it, I think what Antonio Brown is doing, I don't know, maybe he got a new PR team, but I think he just wants to be in the news. I think he wants to be like a Kardashian or something like that, where he's always in a headline or always in something. And I think he knows how to rattle feathers and knows how to get people all upset and pissy and follow him. Like, this is basically not a story, right? We're just kind of covering some weird beef in the NFL because Antonio Brown's bored out of his mind and just decides to post on Instagram and Twitter and comment on people. And
he loves the drama. But when did this start? When did his mental illness begin? Because he went a lot of years of silence in Pittsburgh.
I know, but that's why I'm saying I think it must be a PR strategy. It's got to be something internal where people are saying, look, you got to do it this way so you can be the biggest star in the NFL and do it like this and blah, blah, blah. Because what I think he might be worried about is he's now on the Oakland Raiders. He's going to be a terrible wide receiver because he has a terrible quarterback. Yep. And the only thing that's going to keep him relevant is to be always in the public eye being absolutely insane. And I know it's not a way to go, but you got to do it. And he's very talented. But the only way to stay in the public eye and being a terrible team and a terrible quarterback, you got to be good. Look at what OBJ did. He had to go crazy, too, and berserk and do all this weird stuff, like get all mad on the sidelines, because at some point, Eli Manning couldn't throw him the ball anymore. And now look where he is. He's on the Browns, which could win the Super Bowl this year.
That could be a great offense, by the way. That's the antic of a wide receiver. I think you're giving AB too much credit in saying this is too thought out. Like, I'm afraid to say it, but you gave the Alliance of the American Football League too much credit, and we covered this last week, for believing them. I know, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah. But you gave them too much credit. Sometimes, and this is a lesson we learned last week, that's why I took on the AAF, we need to take a step back and say, wow, you are as dumb as you appear. Because this happens all the time in sports and in life. And sometimes we need to stop giving credit and saying, wow, you're an idiot, you're dumb. You need to stop. There's no story here. There's no morals going on here. You're just awful. And that's Antonio Brown right now.
That is Antonio Brown. All right. So
speaking of,
where are we going?
NFL stars, we're going to guess that tweet.
All right.
Let's play Guess That
Don't let anyone tell you the NFL is not in charge of the sports calendar 12 months a year. NBA playoffs start, but we're still talking football. Just saying.
Go. Give me your tweet.
Who said this tweet?
Okay.
This is an NFL star said this. He posted a screenshot on his phone. Okay. Someone responded, damn, this guy has a 24-hour clock on his phone. What the fuck? Because you know some people are on military time.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
And then this NFL star responded, and this is who I want you to guess. Who said this? I don't allow AM or PM to dictate my schedule.
Wow. Ooh, so deep. You must be working out all the time. Somebody that would comment on Instagram. I didn't see this.
Star.
I want to say JJ Watt.
False.
Okay.
Good guess. I didn't give you multiple choice. I didn't help you. It was Le'Veon Bell, the other Steelers castaway.
Okay.
It does not allow AM or PM to dictate his schedule. I think it's a little deep, and I do think AM and PM are real things that we are allowed to go by.
You got to sleep at some point. Did you see the new Jets jerseys that were revealed?
No.
Oh, they're like black. I think they might be green. I don't know. They looked black to me. They didn't look that good.
That's not one of their colors.
No, I know. Is that all you got for Guess That Tweet?
Yeah, just one.
Okay, good. All right, so I got some AAF updates. I was like, you got some more games? Oh, good. Le'Veon Bell. I feel like we didn't talk about a lot of Le'Veon Bell moving to the Jets.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. So after we talked last week about the AAF, we had the AAF guys on, AAF Analyzed, which their show's over. I think they have one or two more shows. But we're not firing them. We signed them to a long-term contract. Yes. They're going to be around on the Hangover Network. But so then, I started looking into it. I was wondering what's going on. Our mutual friend said, over under how many AAF players get signed. Currently, I think there are 10-plus players that have been signed to NFL rosters. Multiple NFL rosters. The Jags, I think, signed 4. I think Pittsburgh signed 2 offensive linemen.
I think there's more than that because the Dolphins signed 7 of them. They signed like a whole AAF team, which I thought was great for where the franchise is right now. So
the AAF wanted this before the season started. They wanted this option for players to go and use it as a pool for the teams. And reports came out, which I thought this was great. The AAF allegedly asked the XFL to merge months before they started the AAF. They said, please buy us out and we'll merge and just become the XFL because this guy didn't have any money. whoever owned the AAF.
Right.
Now, the UCF also hunting for their $1 million because they have 3 invoices to the league. They're not making any comment. UCF going to sue the AAF now.
Well, we need the money. We're in a shitty athletic conference. We're not getting much love.
You're in Orlando. Yeah.
Wait,
just say that. You're in Orlando.
Those are not the same two things. Orlando is a top 20 city in America.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
In size, not in anything else.
Yeah. You're in Orlando still. So.
But UCF should have gotten an advance payment out of this at some point. Maybe a down payment or something, because clearly
nice.
we could all see this happening long ago.
Yeah, it's not very good for them. So the AAF is now done. People have said they want to whatever it's called, like bring it back next year, but they can't because they have no money. So the XFL is now in line to be the only spring football league, and I think it's going to go over great because hopefully they can learn from all the mistakes.
Drinking the Kool-Aid again.
I'm back on it. Listen, it's been like 5 years. I've really been excited about the spring leagues. I'm back on the XFL. I have some XFL vintage hats that I bought off Poshmark. I'll show you later.
Do you have any? Can you show me now?
I can show you. I'll show you after the show. They look great. They're not bringing an LA team, but I do have an XFL LA. I don't know what they were called before, but I'm really excited.
I think the XFL would have done the cities a little differently if they knew the AAF would be gone after 6 games, because there's now all these AAF cities that are decent football cities, like Orlando. People were going. Memphis. There's some good cities that now don't have teams, and aren't all the XFL cities, aren't like 7 of 8 of them in NFL cities also?
Yeah, I know for sure.
There's
like
Dallas,
Tampa has
Tampa.
one, but I think St. Louis is getting one. I think New York might be getting one too.
That's what they need, right?
Yeah, but Tampa was like an original city of the XFL, so I think they're bringing it back to a lot of the original cities that had it. The
only credit I give the XFL is they're waiting a year to launch and figure it out, where the AAF really rushed into it there, and clearly that was not the best strategy. They could have done some fundraising, some lemonade stands to last a few more.
They could have figured it out. Real quick, NHL playoffs start tonight. I'm excited. The Lightning are playing in 2 hours from now. And I talked to Andrew from What the Puck. He gave me his 4 best bets, which I'm riding the coattails on, and I will be betting these games. Real quick, I'm going to throw them out to you, Jeremy. Please try to watch 1 or 2 games. It's going to be great. NBA schedule for the playoffs don't come out until tonight after the final game, so we couldn't really talk about any best bet matchups there. Yeah. I think Sunday is the kickoff for the NBA playoffs. I'm going to be watching it all. I get an additional TV in my office so I can watch 2 different sports at the same time.
Sounds like a productive place. You can go over your NHL bets, and I will watch an NHL playoff game if you listen to my Masters bets and if you turn on the Masters this weekend.
I will turn on the Masters, but I guess I got to listen to you and the Goose. You're going to give all your best bets on the Goose Cast later today on the Hangover Network.
Tell the people how to find that show, please.
Just search the Hangover Network in any podcast player, and you will find all the great shows. And I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. No one knows this yet. Unannounced everywhere. Vodcast Soda is changing their name, and they will be rebranding themselves next week. So I'll just look forward to that. They're very excited.
That's a very awesome thing. I'm excited about that.
They're bringing a booze sponsorship with them. So get excited.
That's actually a big deal. The Gambling Goose Cast does not have a booze sponsorship, but I will be previewing the Masters there right now. The show is uploaded as you're listening to us here, so go check that out. You do your NHL bets, then I'll do my Masters bets.
All right, Tampa Bay against the Blue Jackets. Obviously, I'm going Tampa Bay here. They are the favorites to win it all. There have been stories about the Blue Jackets here that, they can beat them, Tampa Bay is like the most historic team in the last 30 years of the NHL. You got to stick with the Lightning. Look at my shirt here. This is their new jersey color, the black. It's great. Are you excited about the Lightning? Are you going to watch any?
You went to a Lightning game a few months ago when you were in Florida. You picked up that shirt, their new colors. Is that going to be the thing that puts them over?
I don't think me wearing their T-shirt is going to put them over, but that would be great if it was. The only reason that they need to get all the way to the Stanley Cup is because the last few years they've been pretty good and fallen out way before the Stanley Cup final.
So why is this year any different?
Because they're a historic team. They have a great team. Everybody's on board.
Passover's coming up. It's a question we ask all the time. Why is this night different than all other nights? Why is this Lightning team different from all the other Lightning teams?
They're better. They score more goals. I think that's the difference. Okay. All right, so the rest of the bets, I don't know much about the teams. I haven't watched a lot. Like the Predators against the Stars. The Predators are going to win this series. They're a good team. They're in the West, and I'm really hoping for the Jeremy, you really don't want any of this. I'm excited for it.
Well, we just have a big announcement coming up on the show.
Champs.
I'm not trying to lose our listeners.
Jeremy, the reigning champs, the Capitals against the Hurricanes. I'm going with the Capitals. I'll leave it at that. I'll put it up in the show notes so you can see all the bets. Hopefully make some good bets this week. And also listen to What the Puck. They got a full recap of our, not recap.
And we'll be in touch with the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. For the Masters, Rory's your favorite. Don't bet on him. Tiger has way too good of odds. Don't bet on him. One of the guys I like is Bryson DeChambeau. I like 4 other guys that will make you money this week, and that is on the gambling.
Wow, what a tease, Jeremy. What a tease. All right, let's do our 2019 Bachelorette party location.
Championship.
The final announcement today. Jeremy, people have been waiting weeks and weeks for this.
We started with a bracket, and it was 8 domestic
with a
locations,
bracket.
8 international locations. This is when March Madness really started heating up. Don't mind us. It's mid-April, and we're just polishing this off now. Domestic, we had great cities. We had Denver. We had Park City. We had we didn't have Austin.
Las Vegas.
I'm not sure why. We had Las Vegas, an early favorite. South Beach. Internationally, we had Rio de Janeiro and Vancouver and all these places. And now we are in the final matchup from 4-2. The 2 cities are Seattle and Montreal.
Yes.
Mike, do we have a winner?
We have a winner. It is Montreal.
It had to be done. You already had your own crazy experience in Seattle. We have to do Montreal even better.
I'm excited about Montreal. We couldn't find a good Canadian to come on and really pump up.
I don't know any Canadians.
You don't know any?
Do you?
I know a few, but you know what? They haven't lived there in a while, so I don't know how good Montreal will be. But I heard it's a great city to go party. It should be fun. I just don't want to go in the wintertime because I don't have winter clothes.
So when are we going? This summer? This fall?
I don't know. I don't know who's planning it. We got to find out who the best man is for the show because that's usually who plans the wedding, right?
True, because we're not. So I do have concerns about stuffing the ballot box. Our Canadian is getting married. This was inspired for him. He made the mistake of proposing recently, so he does get a bachelor party. And Montreal won, so I feel like all of his Canadian family, we're betting on this a lot. Very concerned about the final choices. I don't know how Seattle made it. I feel like there's some favoritism by you with Seattle based on your past weekend there. I'm glad Montreal won.
I'm glad Montreal won too. I haven't looked too much into it. Practice your French. We're going to Montreal. Let's do some food news.
Here's what I found. Here's some news for food news.
I'm glad we're getting to food news because I had my physical this week, Mike.
Oh, you had your physical. Oh, my God.
And I got my glucose numbers back.
Oh, no, Jeremy.
And I am very excited and proud to announce I have dropped my blood sugar 8 points this year.
What was it before?
It was 100, and now it's 92.
How? I've never gotten my glucose levels checked. I should go get them checked out. That's good.
Have you ever had a physical?
I have had a physical.
You get them checked with every blood test.
Then my
anything
blood test
over
was
100
fine.
is pre-diabetes. So we were on the verge. You know, I love my candy. You
Jeremy,
know, I love my sugar.
You were on your way to diabetes, and you didn't tell me.
I've been telling you on the show all year. We did a candy bracket.
I didn't think you were going to be pre-diabetes.
Yeah. Pre doesn't mean you have to have it. It means you're on your way. And I am no longer on my way.
But you were on your way. The amount of fucking sugar you eat is insane.
I've cut a lot of sugar, and it shows.
What's for dinner?
In my blood test.
Starburst, Skittles, and a soda tonight.
Yeah, I should celebrate. You're right. So I wanted to announce that on the show.
Well, congrats, Jeremy. I'm really happy that you're no more. You're still like pretty close to pre-diabetic. What's like a normal blood? Like
seriously, anywhere from 70 to 100. I'm at 92. That's fine.
Okay, you're kind of on the high level.
Just lay off.
Okay, all right. Well, my food news was that if the Lightning win the Stanley Cup, Bud Light will change their can names to Bud Lightning if they win the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
I know you don't care. I know you don't. Look at you. If anybody could see Jeremy's face right now, how unexcited he is. It's really depressing, Jeremy. Well, congrats to your blood sugar.
That is what I was celebrating. I was just making plans on like Uber Eats candy delivery. That's why I grabbed my phone there for your NHL report. Go Lightning, go NHL, go NBA, go Masters. So much going on in one weekend.
Tell me about the Masters. Give me what you got. The end of the show. Somebody might not be here anymore, so we could talk about Masters.
I feel like everyone should consume it this weekend. It's the most beautiful place on earth. If you haven't been, you should go.
I've heard this many times, but which day should I watch? Should I only watch Sunday when it matters?
So they say the Masters doesn't begin until the second 9 on Sunday. So no matter what happens Thursday through Saturday matters. It's about noon Pacific time Sunday. Noon to 4. If you can give 3 or 4 hours there, you're going to love it.
That's noon to 4 Pacific.
3 to 7 Eastern on Sunday. And then Game of Thrones, of course, is Sunday night. So just make a day of it. Make a day.
And NBA playoffs start that day.
The Masters is so beautiful, immaculate. You should go in your life, take your father, a few things about it. It's the only sporting event in the world that exceeds expectations. The food prices are $1 to $2 for everything. We've gone over that.
We could also replay the last 8 years of us talking about it on the show.
I was just going to give you something new, a new nugget, never reported on our show, and that is going to be on the Gambling Goosecast because you're not deserving of it.
What you say?
Wow,
you don't deserve my nugget. Wrap this show.
What a tease. All right, everybody go to hangover.network. Tons of new blogs up, tons of new swag up. We're gearing up for 4th of July. I have a lot of great swag coming your way. Every week, new swag will be on the website, so go to hangover.network. Follow us on Instagram at Hangover Network. And all the great shows. Just search any podcast player you have and search the Hangover Network, and all our great shows will pop up. We don't get arrested unless they're abused. Hopefully, we're back next week.